Hello and welcome to episode number 44 of the Knitting Teaspoon podcast. I'm Liesbeth, your host, and this is a podcast which is mostly about knitting, sometimes also about sewing, crochet, all the other crafts that I occasionally do as well. And you guys, I have a lot of content for you this time. So, thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot that you take some time out of your day and decide to spend it with me. I mean, well, there's plenty of other people you could be listening to as well, so I feel honored that you decide to spend some time with me. Yeah, there is a small elephant in the room, or maybe it's not that small. Maybe it's still small for an elephant. But yes, I have finished my Sockyarn blanket, and it is right here. And it is huge. I've folded it double in half, and I still don't think it will fit in the screen. So, but it is so lovely and warm, and it's been cold here, so yeah, it's really nice to have it finished. I actually did not finish it this week, but the week before, but because I'd been ill, I skipped a podcast last week, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'm feeling much better now, and the blanket is finished, you guys. So that means that I will have more content than just the blanket that I've been talking about for, it feels like ages, but I'm just so thrilled that it is finished and that I can move on to other crazy big projects now, or not so crazy big, but you know, I've been holding off on starting another knitting blanket until I had this one finished, and I haven't started it yet, so don't worry. This will not be a blanket knitting podcast only, but yeah, I'm just very happy that this one is finished. It leaves some new spot for a big knit. So yeah, there we have it. So underneath the blanket I'm wearing my Dusola cardigan, which I made out of hand spun yarn that I spun over the course of last year. I know it was hand dyed by Spinspool, and it's a 50-50 merino blue-faced Leicester because they had 2 braids of merino and 2 braids of BFL, and I decided to blend it by making a 2-ply. One ply was merino and the other ply was blue-faced Leicester. So there you go. They were both intended to be the same colorway, and they weren't exactly, but close enough. Then on to the other projects that I've been working on. So last time I spoke to you, I had just received a package which contained some yarn from Awesome Blossom, or Awesome Blossom Knits on Etsy. So here's her logo. She also has a podcast, so do follow her if you like. It's a very nice podcast. She makes some amazing stuff. So I had received her platinum sock in the colorway Bridesmaid Dress. And you may see that this is quite small ball. This is the yarn that was sent to me. So this is not a full skein, and that's because I have finished a pair of socks. And you guys, this yarn, it is just amazing. It is absolutely my color, and I am so thrilled with them. I haven't worn them yet, but after finishing socks, I tend to not weave in ends because I don't particularly like weaving in ends, and sometimes my finished socks tend to lay around for a few weeks before I finally get around to weaving in the ends and then actually start wearing them, because, well, I won't say I have like hundreds of socks that I've knit so far, but I definitely have enough that I do not necessarily need to wear a new pair as soon as it's off the needles. So yeah, here's my first pair of socks for this year, and I'm really happy with them. I'm gonna try and see if I can knit a box of socks this year. Last year I actually kind of did knit a box of socks, but I found out after I knit most of the socks that you were supposed to knit like 12 pairs of socks for yourself and not wear them. Yeah, that was not gonna happen. I'm not gonna not wear my socks and save them until January the next year, because that seems just crazy arbitrary, but I heard that this year the box of socks cal rules are slightly less strict. I did knit 14 pairs of socks last year. I think 6 of them were for myself, 6 of them were for my boyfriend. Then there was a pair for my brother's girlfriend and another pair for someone from the knit group. Yeah, that were the huge socks that I've talked to you about. So, but 1 pair to go for 2019. And I'm well on the way with the second pair actually. These were started already last year before I got crazy with the another project on top of it. These were already started last year before I got crazy into the Sockyarn blanket knitting. But these are the socks that I'm knitting for my boyfriend out of the Katia Socks Camel yarn that my boyfriend purchased for me when he was in Greece with his friends. So I'm knitting a pair of socks for him, and this is actually the second sock. I was about here when I last showed these on the podcast. So this is the first sock, which is now completed, and yeah, second one is almost to the point where I can start for the heel. So I'm quite happy with that. I know that it's quite common to kind of show socks in, well, usually prettier way than this, because they will usually be on sock blockers with podcasters. I don't have any sock blockers, and honestly I don't really see a need to block my socks because they will get blocked on my feet anyway. And apart from that, I kind of like to keep my socks folded like this. I don't know if I'm unique in that way or if it's just something that's not as popular to show a sock like on the podcast. I don't know, but to me a sock looks more or less like this. They also tend to have a kind of crease because I magic loop on both sides when I need socks. So yeah, there you go. One sock's finished, and the second one is well on its way, and it better be, because the ball of yarn is getting smaller, but I'm pretty sure that I will have enough yarn to finish these. Then in the process of making more yarn, because you know, you don't have to buy yarn to add to your yarn stash, I'm also spinning some more yarn, and here's the first, well, it's not exactly a braid, but the first part of the top that I had from Tóves Favoritt, the fiber that I was spinning, and I can't really remember what type of wool it is. Oh, I think it's Polwarth, and there was some silk content in it, and Mohair maybe? I will look it up. But yeah, I've started, well, I've picked up the spinning again, and I finished the first half of the spinning. So this is all one single ply, and yeah, you can see my spinning is not always nice and even, but yeah, if you make it into a 2-ply, then it will balance out a little. Haha, I'm not a great spinner, but I like to do it anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And yeah, then there's one more project that I've started. So, and this next project is inspired by Lorraine of Ellinesscrafts, and I watched her podcast a few weeks back. I think it was somewhere in December, and she was working on this adorably cute cross-stitch penguin, and I really have a weakness for penguins. So when I saw her cross-stitch project, I kind of just paused the podcast right away and started looking for a package that could help me cross-stitch a penguin. But I couldn't really find one that I liked. The one that she had looks adoringly cute, and then I went searching, and I've listed a lot of the cross-stitch projects as cute on Etsy, but none of them were really calling like, yeah, this has got to be it. So I went on a sidetrack and I found some images of several penguins. You know how it goes, you type in Google and you find anything. So I found an image of a penguin and I edited it in Paint and kind of made my own pattern. Yeah, I took a picture and I changed the number of colors that it could use, and then finally drew something over it, like literally filling in 1 pixel at a time, and then quite a process. Yeah, I'm sure there must be smarter ways of doing this, but this is the way that I did it. And yeah, I kind of made this pattern for myself, and I was kind of planning on making a pillow out of this. And this seems like, well, for any of you who know cross stitch, I guess, they will know that if you do this with some fine floss, that you will end up with a really tiny cushion. So instead I decided to do this on some bigger mesh. I'm not really sure what this material is called, but yeah, this is what I've used, and I have been doing some Smyrna or latch hook instead. So I'm not very far in the picture yet, although I'm also already at about a quarter of the entire project. So I've just well, I'm almost done with the feet basically of the little penguin, and yeah, this is gonna be a pillow for in our living room, I think, because I decided we needed more penguins in our life. So yeah, that's what I'm working on, and yeah, also on socks of course, but this project, so I still had some remainder of this type of fabric with all the holes in it. I don't really know what it's called. We call it tramine, but I'm pretty sure that it's called something else in English. So yeah, I probably should have looked up what that would be, but I guess you will know what it is if you know what it is. But otherwise, the technique is called Smyrna or latch hook. So yeah, so you use a tool with a hook like this, and this part can go. It can flip to both sides, and that helps you to pull tiny strands of yarn through the holes, and then you kind of make a knot in around the stramine, for which I don't know the word. So I purchased quite a lot of yarn for that, but it was already some time ago now, and the yarn that I've used is a combination of Langjawol superwash. So it's the Sockyarn that I've used before, and I've used 6 different colors, so I'm not gonna name them all, but there they are. And I've used Borgo di Pazzi Amora 160. So yeah, some Italian yarn as well, which they sell at my local yarn shop, which is Bloemendaal Wool and Meer, if you're interested. So yeah, but this yarn obviously just comes in skeins, so I have been winding it around a piece of folded cardboard and then cutting it and to the right size and then laying knots on it, and it's quite a slow process. And I've tried to convince my boyfriend also to work on it, so I've not only drawn this penguin, I've actually made another drawing of another penguin. We made sure that they are both the same type of penguins, but he started his, but he's not even half a row in, so his looks like a tiny white stripe on the bottom. But I'm really proud that he's doing something at all, so we will see how far his gets done, if his gets done. if his gets done by him, because if he won't finish his, then I'm pretty sure that I will at some point. Which has happened in the past. Latchhook is not a new craft for me. It's just a craft that I have not been doing for a long time. So I've made a big tapestry which hangs on my wall in the bedroom. But unfortunately I can't really drill proper holes in the walls here in the house, so I can't really place it anywhere else. So yeah, it will stay in the in the bedroom. Yeah. So, and when I was younger, my mom had us make some cushions for our bed when we were small. So I finished mine quite quickly, and my sister was not so keen on finishing her as were my brothers. So I'm pretty sure that I had a hand at finishing all of the other cushions as well. But yeah, it was just something that I enjoyed, and then later I started making patterns for that. Actually, I think those are the first real patterns that I made myself. Not really sure actually, but I do know that I've been on a crazy kick of making pillows like that myself before. Unfortunately, I've given them away, so I don't have those pillows anymore. Anyway, I think that's all for this week. So yeah, thank you so much for coming back after the short break that we've had, and yeah, I hope to be seeing you again next week. So yeah, have a lovely week, and